Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's second video, doing JMA Friday for today's second video. So as always on a Friday, we're having a look at the weather for month ahead with Japanese and Southwest V2 miles. It's going to take us, of course, into the latter stages of February. So I shall get on with that for you very shortly. Just say that Snow Watch has been released. There is a risk of some more snow coming up this weekend and into the early part of next week. Check out Snow Watch and see what's happening there. We're going to have a 10 to 14 day update for you later on this afternoon. That will include all of the regular features, so that's going to be a very, very interesting watch. There are hints of the beast emerging in around a week's time, so more about that later on in our 10 to 14 day, and they'll be live streaming after 10 o'clock tonight. We'll live stream the GFS 18Z, aka the pub run, and that'll be coming up for you after 10 o'clock tonight. The ECWF 42 day forecast being pushed back to tomorrow morning because there's so much going on at the moment. I have not got time to get that in for you today, unfortunately. So that'll be tomorrow morning, first video tomorrow morning. Right, let's get on with it then. Going to start off with the JMA 500 millibar high dominance from North Pole view down. So this is the North Pole of the Northern Hemisphere just here, mid-latitudes. Northern Hemisphere around there. So blue is extrapolating to below average heights, which is low pressure. Yellow, orange and red extrapolate to above average heights, which is high pressure. So blue is low, red, yellow and orange is high. So you can see that these breakdown to week periods, the first week period, excuse me, will take us from today, the 29th of January, through to the 5th of February. So you can see that the coming week will have northern blocking, above average heights through the northern latitudes, below average heights will be in off the Atlantic into Western Europe. It's going to be unsettled. Jet stream will be digging south as well, and it could be quite cold, particularly in more northern areas. Week 2 will take us from the 5th through to the 12th of February. This potentially looking very cold in this week, with a large blocking area of high pressure sitting between Greenland and Scandinavia. Low pressure will be across southern and western Europe. Wind will be in, this is right, winds will be in from the east, and that could be a very cold week indeed, very cold and potentially snowing there for the 5th through to 12th of February. And then weeks 3 and 4 look like they're keeping us cold as well. This takes us from the 12th through to 26th of February. This is right. This could be a notably cold February, actually, with high pressure extending back from Greenland into the Arctic. Low pressure will be across many northern and west parts of Europe. Again, the wind could well be coming in from an east or northeasterly direction. Low pressure providing energy for snow. Winds in from the east or the north or the northeast. You know, it just looks a cold, a wintry outlook there with the JMA through most of February. Wow, what a month this could be if that is right. This is the tropical mid-latitude view. So British Isles is in the top right-hand corner of the chart as you're looking at it. We're just there. Can't see the Arctic and polar regions there off the charts. But have a look at that view down so we know what's happening. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of northern blocking around in the next 4 weeks. But for week 1, 500 millibar height anomaly, we're under a trough of low pressure. We're looking unsettled, but also rather cold. The temperature anomaly is colder than average here in week 1 from the 29th of January through to the 5th of February. And it is rather unsettled as well, so this does raise the prospect of not just rain, but also some snow, given that, you know, it's quite a cold week. Week 2 is the 5th to the 12th of February, and the blocking is strengthening within the northern latitudes. Very priming, just making out to the north of Scotland. Very primed to be bringing in like a proper old easterly type flow. Temperature anomalies are significantly colder than average in week 2. Most parts of Europe are also looking cold. Much of North America is also looking cold, so really cold on both sides of the Atlantic there potentially. As it's cold and we've got a northern blocking signal, it is rather dry, but remember any precipitation, or drier, but remember any precipitation that does fall is very likely to be falling as snow. And then weeks 3 and 4 will take us from the 12th to 26th of February with low pressure over to the south of the country. Again, high pressure will be to the north. Winds will be in from a cold easterly direction. So once again, we have colder than average temperature anomalies predicted here. This is a very cold February, if this is right with the JMA today. So cold temperatures continue into the second half of the month, and north-south split, so northern areas are still drier than average, southern areas are wetter than average, and of course with that it does raise a prospect of maybe significant snow as well. So this could be the coldest February we've had for a very, very long time. That's all I'll say at this stage, but this could be the coldest February we've seen for many, many years. Right, this is how, for JMAs, right, this is how the CFS compares. So these are 500 millibar heights broken down into week periods. The first week period will take us from the 29th of January to the 4th of February, identical to the JMA, really. Below average heights, low pressure in off the Atlantic into Northern Europe, some higher pressure down here towards the Azores, but displaced further south than normal, with blocking to the north. Jet stream is pushed southwards. It's unsettled and potentially quite cold as well. Week 2 is the 5th to the 11th of February with extensive northern blocking between Greenland and Scandinavia. Look how blocked the northern latitudes are. Absolutely incredible. Low pressure is across western parts of Europe. The jet stream is down here as well. We'll be bringing in cold easy winds. It just looks like it could be cold, potentially very cold, and potentially really wintry as well. Week 3 will be the 12th to the 18th of February. Again, look at this northern blocking around Greenland. Low pressure is underneath it. Winds again in from a bitterly cold easterly direction. So wow. I mean, that could be very wintry and very, very snowy indeed. A little bit of a change potentially for week 4, which is the 19th, 25th of February. Still a lot of northern blocking even here, but just aligning slightly differently to perhaps start allowing something a little bit milder up from the southwest, a little bit less cold. So maybe hints it goes a bit less cold late on in February, because that's 4 weeks away. There's a lot of cold weather to contend with before then. Temperature anomalies for week 1, 29th of January to 4th of February, are colder than average, so particularly so for more northern areas, but quite a cold week coming up for most areas. Week 2, which is the 5th to the 11th of February, is also a colder than average week. Week 3 is the 12th to the 18th of February. That one also forecast to be cold and average. Not quite as cold as weeks 1 and 2, but nevertheless, still cold and average there. And then week 4, which I thought did perhaps look a little bit less cold, but actually the temperature only for week 4, 19th to 25th of February, is also forecast to be below average. Precipitation wise for week 1, finally, 29th of January to 4th of February. So most places rather unsettled, particularly so in the south, as it's cold. There is a bit of wintry potential in there as well. Week 2, 5th to the 11th of February, near normal precipitation, not quite as unsettled in that week. Week 3 is the 12th to the 18th of February, probably progress a little bit more towards the drier side. If anything, remember, the only precipitation that does fall will likely fall as snow. And then week 4 is the 19th, 25th of February. They're going a little bit more unsettled by then. Could be a little bit less cold by week 4. A little bit more unsettled. But on the other hand, it might, be quite snowy. So it's 4 weeks away. It's not worth worrying about. What an update from JMA Friday this week. So if this is right, we are facing a very cold and potentially very wintry February. There's little... there's nothing else that can be said about that, really. That's how these models are shaping up. And that's it. All I will add is that, it's just a snapshot of what these models are showing. So it's just a snapshot today of how they're looking. They could look very different next week. But yeah, very cold February on the way with JMA Friday. If, and it's a big if, it's a caveat, these two models are correct. We're going to be back with your 10 to 14 dayer, and there are signs of a beast from the east emerging from its slumber. More about that later on this afternoon. But for JMA Friday, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.